Right now, Vice President Pence makes a stop in Madison, talking at the Capitol. His message and the response from Democrats and protesters just ahead. And new details today about the ongoing homicide investigation in Bluemount. Detectives trying to track down another runner who was seen in that area. Plus, a couple of schools are closed for a top-to-bottom cleaning after 30 students called in sick. A look at the process to prevent the flu straight ahead.
From the Channel3000.com Alert Center, this is News 3 Now at 6.
Thanks for joining us tonight. Charlotte is off. A big day for the city of Madison. For the first time ever, a sitting vice president set foot in the Capitol building. Vice President Mike Pence delivered remarks about the state's school choice program this afternoon. We have team coverage of today's events. Amy Reed was inside the Capitol during today's event, and Amanda Quintana spoke with Democrats and protesters outside. We begin with Amy inside the Capitol tonight.
When we talk about school choice, we're often discussing these voucher programs that give students state financial assistance in order to go to a private school. Pence said across the nation, these programs are successful. He said they lead to better grades and high test scores, which recent studies compiled by the Brookings Institute have not backed up. But there are success stories Pence mentioned, including a few students on vouchers in Milwaukee who will be the first in some of their families to go to college. Opponents of school choice say vouchers take away money that should be going to public schools. In fact, a Milwaukee lawmaker introduced legislation today that would eliminate school choice, which Pence talked about.
In fact, I learned on the way here that there's a bill being introduced in the Wisconsin legislature that would actually phase out school choice in this state. I know the governor couldn't be with us here today, so let's make sure he hears us. We're not going to let that happen.
Trump and his cronies are sabotaging public education because it's not their children who go to public school. At every step, they think this is what's going to happen to someone else. They're handing massive tax cuts to the richest people in America while cutting funding for teachers, for training, for our school systems.
Democrats this morning countered Pence, saying school choice is not the right way to go. That claim about cutting funding is true. The president's 2020 education budget proposal decreased discretionary spending on education by about $7 billion. However, it created education freedom scholarships, which put about $5 billion toward private or charter school vouchers. Now, Pence had dissenters inside the Capitol. He had dissenters outside the Capitol. Amanda Quintana spoke to protesters and joins us now with what they had to say.
Yes, Amy, there were dozens of protesters out here chanting for things that they do not agree with Pence on.
Hey, hey, ho, ho, alternative facts have got to go. Hey, hey.
The goal was to, quote, unwelcome Pence to Madison. Many of them are against school choice, saying it's taking away money from public schools. But they also took the chance to point out other issues they feel Pence doesn't support, including climate change initiatives, LGBTQ rights, health care for all, and the right to an abortion. They say he's imposing his Christian values on others.
He is very limited in his thinking about religion and about government. And again, you know, he really embraces the tenets of fascism. And I want us to stay a democracy.
Some also saying they believe Pence was in the loop in holding aid from Ukraine, the issue at the center of Trump's impeachment trial. Now, during the speech, a lot of the protesters went inside to chant during Pence's speech inside there. A lot of them stayed out here to continue to sing and chant, and many of them were trying to get others to register to vote.
Amanda Quintana, Amy Reed, both reporting live tonight at the Capitol. Thanks to both of you. Tomorrow is the final day for voters to register online or by mail. Ahead of the February 18th spring primary, residents are encouraged to check their registration status at myvote.wi.gov, especially if you have moved. In order to register on Election Day, residents must provide proof of address. Governor Evers requesting FEMA to conduct a damage assessment in Milwaukee, Racine, and Kenosha counties after a severe winter storm hit the lakeshore earlier this month. That process is the first step in determining whether the state will request a federal disaster declaration. On January 10th through 12th, high winds and waves caused tens of millions of dollars in damage along the western shore of Lake Michigan. Let's check your first alert forecast now. Chief Meteorologist Gary Canalti. Gary?
Not a lot of wind out there tonight. In fact, skies are just cloudy. It's been gray and probably will continue that way for a while longer. As we take a look at the time lapse from the WISC Skycam beginning at noon this afternoon, you can see there was just no change in the cloud cover all afternoon. Haven't had any precipitation, but it's just been cloudy and gray. And future track shows the continuation of that. Look for temperatures to only fall a couple of degrees thanks to the cloud cover overnight. By tomorrow afternoon, a couple of those flurries along the lakeshore area could possibly move inland and affect parts of southern Wisconsin. Otherwise, just look for another cloudy day tomorrow. In fact, temperatures will drop off to about 20 by tomorrow morning. Look for a high of 28 for tomorrow. But later on, I'll take a look at a forecast that includes milder weather and maybe some sunshine toward the end of the weekend.
Gary, thank you. Dane County detectives are continuing to ask for the public's help in a murder investigation of Nicholas Day. They're trying to identify a runner who was seen in that area around the time of Day's death. They say the runner was wearing a brown jacket with red striping, similar to the photo on the right of your screen there. That was put out today by investigators. Witnesses report seeing this man running in the area of Burgum Road and County Highway JG around January 15th in the early afternoon hours. He is not considered a suspect. However, investigators would like to speak with him or any other runners who frequently run in that area. Detectives are also interested to hear from any individuals who may have been working in that area. That could include delivery drivers, utility workers, or construction workers. A 36-year-old Beloit man is facing criminal charges after his stepchild took his loaded gun to an elementary school in Rock County. A teacher found the gun in a backpack earlier this morning. This was at Todd Elementary School. After taking the backpack from that student, the school called in their stepdad, 36-year-old Brian Walker, who was arrested for leaving a loaded handgun in a place where a child could take it. The school district of Beloit says while it cannot comment on the student's name, age, or gender, the student involved will be suspended for the foreseeable future. Opioid overdoses and overdose deaths in Madison have both fallen in 2019. That's according to Interim Police Chief Vic Wall's blog. Officers responded to 246 heroin and opioid overdoses last year. That is down from 275 the year prior. He says those numbers only include known overdoses. The actual number in the community is likely higher. And when it comes to death, Chief Wall says there were 29 fatal overdoses in 2019. That's down from 42 in 2018. There were 2 bomb threats today at separate local high schools. The first made over an email this morning at Madison Memorial High School. According to Principal Matt Hendrickson, the threat did not seem credible because of the nature of the email, but security staff conducted a thorough sweep in and around the school just as a precaution. And classes will be back to normal tomorrow for students at Sauk Prairie High School following another bomb threat this morning, this one causing an evacuation. The police department says the threat was called into the school just before 11 a.m. So the students were sent to the middle school while police responded. It was determined not to be a credible threat. A Wisconsin man says his family is stuck in Wuhan, China, the epicenter of the coronavirus. The State Department is airlifting some Americans out of the city, but not all, saying, quote, capacity is extremely limited. Priority will be given to individuals at greater risk from coronavirus. 1,000 Americans are reportedly in the city, including Sam Roth's wife and children who are visiting relatives. Roth is from Neenah. He's hoping his family will be on the flight back home.
I'm trying to make the case that we've got a 10-month-old, we've got a 5-year-old. They're susceptible.
The coronavirus is now in 18 countries and has infected 5 people here in the U.S. Wuhan is one of 17 cities now under total lockdown. Streets are quiet, but hospitals are in a frenzy. While the coronavirus may be on your mind right now, the Department of Health says it's the flu that should really be concerning you. The Watertown Catholic School canceled classes for both today and tomorrow because so many students called in sick. Jamie Perez found out what they're doing to prevent the flu from spreading. Jamie?
Well, the principal said that 30 kids stayed home from school yesterday with the flu, so she decided to cancel school for the next couple of days to scrub the place from top to bottom.
Oh, absolutely. Having a good, clean environment to learn in is very important.
Kevin Lorian has been a custodian for the last 15 years.
We're basically the unsung heroes.
He knows how important it is to make sure this place is scrubbed clean of any germs that may have spread the flu to nearly a third of the school.
It's important to me.
It's important to Principal Sherry Harms, too.
He has sprayed everything with Lysol. We've wiped things down with bleach water. He's mopped the floors with bleach water that he could. He's going to start from the top of the school and work his way down.
He's working his way through this 2-story school, mostly by himself.
Yeah, it just makes it quiet. We're basically doing a stripped-down summer cleaning in 2 days, which normally takes over the summer to do.
Anywhere the kids can touch, he is disinfecting.
We have a lot of sick kids, so they're now gone for the next 2 days, so we just want to make sure we have a good, clean environment for them to come back in.
And while he's doing this, kids are at home, hopefully getting well. So by the time they come back,
Yeah, we'll get her done.
the whole school will be spotless.
No problem there.
And he has to clean every surface in 16 classrooms, 10 bathrooms, and all the lockers and handrails in just 2 days. So hopefully by the time kids come back, it'll be all nice and clean and disinfected.
A lot of work, but a lot of sick kids. We want them to get well, get back to school. Jamie Perez reporting. Jamie, thank you. Still to come tonight at 6, a Super Bowl commercial you won't want to miss during this weekend's big game, a preview when we come back. Welcome back. A new report today warns about a big increase in data breaches affecting tens of millions of Americans. The release of this report also happens to fall on National Data Privacy Day.
As we use our devices more and more for research purposes and to share our photos and share our information, a lot of that data is collected without a lot of consumers knowing it.
In its 2019 end-of-year data breach report, the Identity Theft Resource Center says the number of data breaches went up 17%. The group says one significant new threat emerged. Consumers or companies' data being exposed through databases left unsecured. Another trend that has exploded in the past year, they say, is something called credential stuffing, where hackers buy someone's stolen login and password from the dark web and then see if that same combo gets them into other online accounts. The architecture school that Frank Lloyd Wright started nearly 90 years ago is closing. Today, school officials announced the School of Architecture at Taliesin, which encompasses Wright properties in Wisconsin and Arizona, will close in June. The school's governing board says the decision was made after no agreement could be reached with the Frank Lloyd Wright Foundation to keep operating the school. This Sunday during the Super Bowl, there is one commercial you're really going to want to see. It features a dog and members of the UW School of Veterinary Medicine. The 30-second commercial titled Lucky Dog will air during the second quarter, and it was paid for by WeatherTech. The dog, named Scout, is a family member of the WeatherTech founder. The ad follows Scout's journey as a cancer survivor and celebrates the work being done at the UW School of Veterinary Medicine.
Someone might ask me, well, why didn't you just, the commercial and develop, the time and the commercials in excess of $6 million? Why didn't you just write a check to the university for $6 million? I think we're going to try to lever that $6 million into something much greater.
A beloved family pet and WeatherTech's unofficial mascot, Scout, can often be seen around the company's offices in Bolingbrook, Illinois, outside Chicago. He also appeared in WeatherTech's 2019 Super Bowl commercial and is the face of advertising for the company's pet products. More to come tonight at 6. Ahead in sports, here from Giannis, how he has been handling the tragic loss of Kobe Bryant. But first, Chief Meteorologist Gary Canalti will have his forecast for the rest of the week, including another chance for some snow. Chief Meteorologist Gary Canalti joining us again, and just kind of in that pattern of cloudy, not much happening weather, but maybe some snow in the not too distant future.
When was the last time you saw the sun? Can you remember? You think back?
I think it was when I got back from the Rose Bowl.
It sounds, you're probably about right. Well, let's start out by taking a look at the time lapse from the Platteville Queen Bee Radio Skycam, and this is very typical of what we saw today across southern Wisconsin. Low gray clouds, no precipitation, just a lot of low cloudiness keeping the sun away. And in fact, if you take a look at the long stretch of cloudy skies that we've had, I look back on the weather records. The last time partly sunny skies were reported from the Dane County Regional Airport was at 12 noon last Tuesday. The last time we saw partly cloudy skies, even at night, when obviously you don't have any sunshine, that happened at 5 a.m. last Wednesday morning. Ever since then, all the observations have either been cloudy or having some fog or some kind of precipitation. Next expected sunshine probably holding off until Sunday morning, just in time for Jimmy the Groundhog to see a shadow and tell us that we've got 6 more weeks of winter to go. Well, 3 things you need to know in the forecast. No sun, that will continue at least through Saturday, but it will be seasonably cold. Temperatures will be slightly above normal during the day and pretty far above normal at night because of the cloud cover. There could be a few flurries tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow evening, and then we'll see a warm up this weekend. Highs mid-30s by Saturday, but probably low 40s with some sunshine on Sunday. In fact, you can see that trend. Average high temperature goes from 27 to 29 over the next 10 days. We'll be in the low 40s for Sunday and Monday as well. Although Monday we'll see perhaps some rain showers in the afternoon, but that will change to snow Monday night, and we could see some snow accumulations on Tuesday as temperatures drop back to at or slightly below normal for the end of next week. And the 8 to 14-day temperature outlook from the Climate Prediction Center calls for about a 45% chance of below normal temperatures continuing into the middle part of February. On Weather Track, you can see just how this weather pattern extends all the way back out in the Pacific Ocean. These long lines of clouds just kind of moving eastward over the same general path. So there's nothing really upstream other than maybe a break ahead of this weather system on Sunday that will, again, warm us up and perhaps give us some sunshine. But before then, you can see the clouds extending back all the way to the west coast. So don't expect much, if any, sunshine before Sunday. And on Future Track, you can see over the next couple of days, the clouds lingering. Now, tomorrow afternoon, there could be a couple of flurries that come in off of Lake Michigan, lingering into tomorrow evening. Other than that, we're just looking at cloudy skies and no precipitation. Next weather system out to the west as it arrives Friday afternoon into Saturday could bring a couple of flurries of snow. Again, not mounting to very much, but here comes the clearing. That hopefully will be here by Sunday. As we look at our forecast for tomorrow, high temperature of 28 degrees, cloudy skies, maybe a couple of flurries in the afternoon. And that 7 to 10 day forecast, you can see the flurry chances Friday afternoon into Saturday morning, a warm up for Sunday, Groundhog's Day, and then you can see those temperatures dropping after the snow on Tuesday. Look for below normal temperatures by the end of next week.
Well, last night, no Kobe King for the Badgers, and tonight, the Bucks without a key part of their team. We'll explain why next in sports. Well, the Bucks are an 11.5-point favorite over the Wizards tonight, and that's without Giannis. The Greek Freak sitting this one out because of soreness in his right shoulder. Now, he did practice yesterday, so load management or whatever you want to call it, the Bucks have shown no sign of struggle even without him, winning by double digits in the 3 games he's missed this season. But no doubt that Giannis draws a lot of eyes in Wisconsin and beyond. The reigning MVP asked if he could reach Kobe status and inspire other basketball players.
It's going to be hard for another basketball player to view me as they view Kobe. You know, Kobe, one of the best players to ever play the game. He was put on this shirt to, obviously be one of the best. But yeah, if, when I'm gone, if I can impact people's life the way Kobe impacted mine, people's life around the world, that'd be a blessing.
Seem a little disastrous for the Badgers. A blowout at Purdue and then letting a 12-point lead slip away at Iowa last night. But head coach Greg Gard, he's always been a trust the process kind of guy. And while last night's game wasn't exemplary of the result that he likes to see, he is reassured by the effort that he saw compared to that in West Lafayette.
We had a totally different vibe to us than what we did the other night at Purdue. So that we can continue to build on, and now we got to continue to get better at some of those other things, the glass, being more aggressive in transition, and when teams extend, take advantage of things.
And the Super Bowl is indeed this Sunday, whether Packers fans are in denial of it or not. 49ers and Chiefs fielding lots of questions in the days leading up to kickoff. And sometimes the best questions and answers aren't the ones about football, but about more important things in life, like, singers you would go on a date with, or how about how to spell your quarterback's last name?
G-A-R-A-R-R-A. No, he's giving me looks.
I love organic stuff. But I am an offensive lineman, so if I were to eat completely healthy all the time, then I would not be an offensive lineman anymore. I'd probably be a tight end.
G-A-R. Wait, what did I say at first? G-A-R-A-P-O-L-P-P-O? L-O. I don't know. Forget it.
If you could go out on a date with Lizzo, Rihanna, or Cardi B, who would you choose? Lizzo, definitely.
Lizzo,
yeah.
all the way.
My kids love her music the most.
And finally tonight, some fans making their love for Kobe Bryant permanent, like this man, Danny Rice, in North Carolina. He said he's been a fan of the Black Mamba since the early 2000s. That was the years of the Lakers three-peat. Now, Danny says it's not just Kobe's the court talent that made him a fan, but off the court, too. Like Kobe, Danny is a girl dad. That hashtag being shared on social media in the hours since Bryant was killed in that helicopter crash on Sunday. But back to, can you guys spell Garoppolo?
G-A-R-A-P-P-O-L-O, right? Garoppolo.
Yeah, go for it, Knossi.
Who's he?
Good answer.
Hey, I want to get back to Giannis, though. I think you answered that question really well.
Yeah, in the best way you possibly could, especially, I mean, it's still very, very fresh here for a lot of people, and he answered it in the most perfect way that he could have. Because he's Giannis, he's a Greek freak. You know?
40-6. That's pretty impressive to see that record. Gary, final check.
Well, skies are going to stay cloudy. What else is new? Temperatures dropping to around 20 by tomorrow morning. Look for tomorrow's high temperature around 28 degrees, maybe a couple of flurries tomorrow afternoon, and then a few flurries on Friday afternoon into Saturday morning. Temperatures climbing to the mid-30s by Saturday, but low 40s on Sunday. Jimmy the Groundhog may see his shadow Sunday morning. That's the next chance we have
Your
some
nemesis.
sunshine. Yeah. Well, we'll see what he has to say. We'll see how accurate his forecast is. Some rain showers late Monday. We'll change the snow on Tuesday. We'll have to watch Tuesday for the potential for some snow accumulations, and then a little colder after that for the end of next week.
Good old grouchy Jimmy the Groundhog. Back in action.
Don't get by his ear.
He's going to bite you. All right, thanks for joining us. We'll be back tonight for News 3 Now at 10. Take care.